Hello and welcome to the DNR show, where every week we invite another Luton local hero to share their experiences with our live studio audience. On today's show, we've got a really special local hero, some might say a superhero, who raises much needed funds for charity, whilst bringing a smile to everyone he meets.
He's a close friend of mine, and he's also a personal inspiration to me. Let's give a warm welcome to Luton's Deadpool.
Oh, thank you.
We'll jump right into the questions. So obviously you began Luton's Deadpool persona in the height of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yep.
You began fundraising, walking down the streets, raising money for different things like charities. What was your main inspiration for starting what you did?
Well, actually, I didn't really have... when I started, it wasn't like supposed to be a serious thing. It was just, you know, some friends asked me to join them with some charity collecting and, you know, helping raise spirits to some kids who were really struggling at the time. So at first it was just, you know, I just wanted to join this thing, help them. It was only supposed to be for a short period of time. And then, yeah, it just kind of exploded from there. And it's only as time's gone on, I've become more popular and I'm more of a recognisable figure now in Luton, that I'm starting to really understand that I've got a place and a responsibility to people. So the inspiration, all of that stuff kind of came quite late on. It wasn't really there at the beginning. It was just a joke. It was like a bit of fun. Like, you know, I thought it really helped me with my mental health as well. So going out there, doing some good, and then not just that, you know, putting a smile on kids' faces. It just, yeah.
It seems quite fun just going out in a Deadpool costume.
So much fun. I highly recommend people get their own superhero costume and be Deadpool. I don't have a problem with that. Just so I actually had someone come up to me at Comic-Con and say that, do I have a problem with people being Deadpool? And no, I love it. Be Deadpool all you want. I'm not the only one.
I might do that this year then.
Yeah, crack on, man. Crack on. I highly endorse it. I want there to be thousands of us around this town. Let's make that happen for next Comic-Con, actually.
That kind of leads me to my question. And what do we call you? Do we call you Mr. Deadpool?
Is there a bit of a formality?
Sir Deadpool.
Sir Deadpool.
I would no, Lord Deadpool, Lord Luton. I don't know. No, I'm joking. Obviously, you know, just call me whatever you want. Just
I'll call you
I've
sir,
been called a lot of names.
I'll call you sir.
Sir.
Sir. Deadpool, the character, the Marvel character, seems an unlikely character to be a charity fundraiser.
Well,
what do you think of that?
No, I don't think so. I think that this is exactly what Deadpool really is at his core. You know, if you watch the movies and if you read the comic books, he's always trying to fit in to a group. Like, he's always trying to make a group of people come together, and, you know, he tries to build communities. He's just not very good at it.
He does it in quite a different way.
Eventually it leads to violence.
Yeah.
You know, it's never good. I mean, Deadpool 2, the X-Force team that he assembles in Deadpool 2 all die a horrific death. So, you know, it's not exactly, he's not very good at it, but he's got the heart for doing it. And that's what I love about Deadpool, is that, you know, he's very misunderstood. You know, he's somebody that people turn their backs on quite a lot, but he's always trying to do the right thing, even though he does seem to mess it up. Whereas for me, I look at myself as like the multiverse of Marvel that exists. I'm just
so
one variant.
Really are Marvel Jesus.
Yeah, I'm a variant of Deadpool.
So you mentioned, obviously, you literally just mentioned X-Force from Deadpool 2. I am also aware that you have your own organization, which is similar to X-Force, which you call X4.
Which I called X-Force.
Yeah, you called X-Force. So
Hang on a sec, because on the website it said X-4CE.
Yeah, 4RCE.
Where does that come from?
Well, it's legally, you know, I'm already treading on rice paper as it is, so, you know, I don't want to go too far with Disney.
with your organization X-Force, you said, and on the website as well, it says you primarily focus on things like men's mental health, which is obviously a growing issue nowadays.
Yeah.
When it comes to men's mental health, do you have a specific kind of, not a trigger, but do you have issues of your own mental health that you feel the need to help people, or is it kind of just...
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, I've suffered with complex PTSD since I was a child. I didn't really have much of a proper childhood growing up, you know. There were good times for sure, but there was a lot of pretty horrific stuff that happened in the early years for me, and dealing with that as a teenager and as a male as well, you know, they just don't care. Really, you know, it's why a lot of young men who have these sort of problems get involved with gangs and crime. And I was part of that. You know, I had my issues. I was running around with people that I definitely shouldn't have been. And it was only when I was kind of about 19, 20 when I left that world behind me and I started to, you know, develop myself a little bit more. But the problems persisted, you know, like the mental health side, and I was going in and out with the NHS for years and years. You know, I started with them when I was 19 and I kind of stopped, you know, probably like, I can't actually say because that would reveal my age.
That's fair. You don't want to reveal anything.
But yeah, I've been in that mix for such a long time, and all I found is that they're not equipped to deal with the problem. You know, they treat people with mental health like a conveyor belt system. They just want to get you out of there. They're so overwhelmed and underfunded. It's not their fault really. It's just that they don't have the resources to physically help people. So I decided that I would create an organisation that does actually help people and takes those that fall off the end of the conveyor belt and are sick and they don't want to get back on it. They want to have something that's regular, that they can rely on, where they get to build a group around them and a community. So it's not just that, you know, you're coming to me for help, look, you're actually there to help others as well. And that's the whole meaning of X-Force is, you know, we take in those that other people probably wouldn't waste time with. And we like to encourage them and build them up, give them skills, give them friendships as well. But most importantly, give them something that's regular in their lives they can look forward to.
I mean, technically, I'm not officially part of X-Force, but
no, you are. You come. Yeah, you come to sessions. Yeah, you're a service guy. Yeah,
that's interesting because this is one thing I was thinking of. If we were members of X-Force, which heroes would we be?
And who do you see us as? I know we've had a talk about me being Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean, I would love you as Wolverine personally. We don't have
he should
Wolverine
be the Incredible
anymore,
Hulk,
so it'd be good.
He thought it's this size, but it's actually he's wearing a green top. That's
what superhero do you think he would be?
Well, when you had it's actually funny that you say this because I actually have already thought about this. Because of the way you've got that over your legs, you look like Charles Xavier, you need to lose the hair.
So you've got a good amount of X-Men.
A good amount of
X-Men.
Yeah, I love the X-Men, obviously. But yeah, I want a Batman, actually, in my group. Yeah. To be fair, let's just be clear, like, for the men's mental health, they don't need to be in costume, and nobody comes in costumes.
But I was thinking though, for
the X-Force heroes, what we do, we go out and we fundraise, and we've got loads of heroes that come out with us. We're always looking for new people, so if anybody ever wants to apply to join and become a superhero, give me a shout.
I'll send you a text.
Yeah,
that must be very inspiring for young men as well, because they look up to characters from Marvel, and then they see you being the hero. But then also you're talking about this more softer side of being a young man, you know, having feelings and you know, and struggling with mental health.
Yeah, exactly.
So that must really.
I mean, I feel like you know, one of the greatest success stories so far of what I do is Spider-Man. Right? You guys know my Spider-Man guy. Yeah. He is the best, man. Like him. There's another guy as well, Iron Man, that comes along with us. I won't reveal their identities, but. Them two have just got involved, and they are so inspiring to watch in action, like helping kids, because they're young guys and they're from Luton, and they've seen what I'm doing and they wanted to get involved, and now they have become superheroes in their own right, and they go on and inspire people in different areas. Like, you know, Spider-Man's always working with the food bank, so he's now quite synonymous with them, and he also helps out with the Tidy Up initiative. So
this
people are starting to get to know him.
Deep question as well. Speaking of Spider-Man helping out with things like local food banks, you do different charity work, for example, with Keach Hospice Care, if I'm not.
I used to fundraise for them primarily over each of my half terms, but since we've now got X-Force going, you know, I made the decision to try to raise for that so we can make a really sustaining group.
Since you've been Luton's Deadpool, so you've been here for about maybe 3-4 years, roughly.
Yes, it was 4 years now.
Has there been a person that you've met that's impacted you in a good way, that's been memorable to you?
Oh man, that's a good question. That's a really good question. There's been so many people. You know what? It's probably this little girl whose name escapes me, and I feel awful now because I've known her for like 4 years, right? But she's always come out on the half terms to see me. I won't say any details about her or her mum or anything because I don't want to give that away. But she's been coming every half term, and I know that the reason why she's always there on half terms because they don't go away. you know, money's tight for this family, but when she comes to see me, it's like I've made her day. But yeah, and I've got to see her now grow up over the course of these 4 years, and she's always, it's just that seeing and hearing about what she's doing and how, you know, she does all these nice little things, and she's really inspired by the stuff that I do. It's lovely seeing that.
I think that's really great, and I think the audience here would all agree that you're very inspiring. The work that you do is very inspiring. And if anyone would like to get involved in supporting any of your charities, we'll have some links at the end of the programme for you to get involved.
It's been great having you on the show and sharing us with your things like your work and your experiences. As Rohan said, if any of his causes strike a chord with you or you want to get involved, find out more information, we'll provide some links at the end of the show. Obviously, we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavours. Thank you very much for coming here today. And thank you to our live studio audience who have come here today as well. And thank you to those at home. Thank you to those at home for watching us.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Bye from us, and don't miss next week's show with another local hero.
Goodbye.